Welcome to another episode of Cooking Healthy with Coastline. I'm Katlynn Ferreira, registered dietitian with Coastline Elderly, and today I will be taking you through a couple fall favorites with some healthy twists. The first will be homemade peanut butter cups, and the second, candy apples. So I'm going to get started on the base of the peanut butter cups. Okay. And I have here 2 tablespoons of butter and about a cup, just over a cup of dark chocolate chips. Okay. And we're gonna let this melt. It does take a little while, so just be patient. Okay. What I really like about this recipe is that it's a classic Halloween candy, or any time of the year candy really. Who doesn't love Reese's Pieces cups? So it's a classic, but you can have full control over the ingredients because you're making them from scratch. And I like to use dark chocolate for the added antioxidants, and I personally just like the taste better. But I do recommend the dark chocolate for those added health benefits. And I am using butter today, but you don't have to. You can prepare this recipe without the butter. Or if you have a different alternative to butter that you prefer, you can use that. That'll work just fine as well. So any kind of cooking oil, or if you like cocoa butter, that would work too. So you want to make sure that the chocolate chips are evenly melted and mixed in with the butter. Okay. And I should also add that the butter I've chosen today is unsalted. Okay. When you have full control over the ingredients, try to pick the healthiest alternative. So it's just about ready. And I'm going to put them in 24 small muffin tins. They're lined with paper, and you want to grease them, maybe with some cooking spray, that'll do. And I like these small ones because they're a nice bite size. But if you have the larger muffin tins, those will work just fine as well. Okay, we're at a great texture now. So I'm going to start putting this chocolate into the muffin tins for the base. And I'm going to use 2 spoons because I think it's the most efficient method. If you have something else that you prefer to use, go right ahead. So you're going to fill up just like about half of the spoon and drop it right into the base of the muffin tins. When you're working with chocolate, it can get a little messy. So as you can see, I've got a bunch of spoons here. That's because I'm going to try to alternate or use a new set of spoons every time we do a new layer. And if you're trying to be really cautious about how these present, do understand that the melted chocolate can drip on the sides, so they may not be perfect, but they taste delicious. Okay. So these peanut butter cups are so simple to make, and they are great for, see, messy chocolate. They're great for preparing your own type of homemade candy, or even bringing to a holiday party. You could even give them as a gift. There's just something about a homemade gift that just really touches people. And you can make them with extra love, so then the recipient of your gift will, they'll understand. They'll feel it when they eat these. Okay. And I'm just trying to get the chocolate evenly placed amongst the tins, and then I'll go back and flatten them out so that the bases are nice and even. Okay. Almost there. And the chocolate's staying nice and melted for us. There we go. Once I have these all filled with the chocolate as their base, they only need to be in the freezer for 5 minutes, so really not long at all. Perfect amount. So again, that was just over a cup to fill 24 muffin tins. I'm going to use one of these spoons to just flatten out the bases. And because it's melted with that butter, it's really easy to work with. today we are filling them with peanut butter, but if you prefer a different type of nut butter, say you prefer sunflower butter or almond butter, you can use those instead. Or even if you stay away from nuts and seeds for family members or personal preference or any kind of reason, you could actually just completely omit the peanut butter or nut butter. And after you put down this first layer of chocolate, you could put frozen berries and then proceed with the rest of the steps so that they're kind of like berry-filled chocolate cups. And those berries give you an added benefit of the extra antioxidants and a little bit of fiber. And it's very tasty. The berries within the dark chocolate have a very, they complement each other very well. Okay, just about done here. And they don't have to be perfect because the peanut butter is going to go right on top of them. Okay. All right, and they're ready. The first layer is ready to go into the freezer. Okay. All right, so while the first layer of the peanut butter cups is freezing, we can get started on our candy apples. Now, normally candy apples are covered in caramel and they can be hard to chew and the caramel gets really stuck in your teeth and they're really just coated in that sugar. So when you make your own at home, you have, again, full control over the ingredients, and so you can get creative and kind of make it a little bit healthier. You could just dip them in your apples into these ingredients if you wanted, but I think it's nice to have them sliced. It's visually really appealing, and it can be a lot of fun. So I'm going to go ahead and use some of the chocolate that we already have melted from the base layer. Okay, I'm just going to drizzle it over the apples. And they don't need to be perfect, but it can be a lot of fun to do this. Okay. All right. Nice and easy. So you don't have to put too much because there are going to be some other ingredients. So we'll go ahead and drizzle some peanut butter on the apples now. It can be a little messy as well, but it doesn't need to be perfect. Okay. The peanut butter we're using today is unsalted and it's only one ingredient. It's just dry roasted peanuts. So that's awesome. There's no added sugar. You're just getting full benefits of those peanuts, the protein, iron, the healthy fats. All right, so I'd say that's enough. I'm going to put a little bit of granola here. And these are just oats with a little bit of honey, coconut flakes, and a little bit of honey to give it some sweetness. Okay. Then I'm going to top it off with just a little bit of cinnamon. There you are. Okay, we've got some candy apple nachos, really. And we can put these in the fridge to let everything set, and we'll take out the peanut butter cups to keep working on them. Okay. All right, so we're going to work with the peanut butter. And grab 2 new spoons. Maintain that mess. All right, and again, just going to fill about half of the spoon to put enough, just to give it a little bit of volume, the little peanut butter cup. You can either leave them as they are in the little mound, or you can even them out to make a flat layer. Works either way. Okay. All right. Those candy apples, really can't call it a candy apple because it's kind of like apple nachos. I like that. You can use any apples that maybe you've grown, or maybe you or some family and friends went apple picking, and you can use any kind of apple you like. We use Granny Smith. That's because I really like the crispness with the chocolate. And it might seem like these have a lot of steps, but everything moves pretty quickly. As you can see, the chocolate didn't take much time at all to freeze. Okay. There you have it. I am going to leave them in little mounds. I'm not going to flatten them because I like the way that the chocolate fills in around the sides after we do the top layer. So these go back into the freezer for a few more minutes. And we'll just continue to melt the rest of the chocolate. Again, another 2 tablespoons of butter. And I have about 1.5 cups this time for the top layer. I like there to be a little bit more chocolate so you can really fill out the tops. Okay. This is really going a lot quicker because the pan was already warm and there was already some melted chocolate in there. So it's gonna be much quicker than that first time around. This time of the year, we often think about sweet treats and candy, and it's always good to keep in mind what is a healthy alternative. So if there's something that you're really looking forward to, go ahead, try to make it, try to find a recipe that you or your family or friends follow and give it a shot. Because then, like I said, I always recommend to people, you have full control over the ingredients. And it's way more creative that way. You can incorporate things that you like. Awesome. Look at that. That took almost no time at all. And we're just about ready. We're ready for that final step. Now these weren't in the freezer very long, but that's okay. It's just enough to get them kind of in place, just a little bit before we put the chocolate on. Okay. All right, 2 more spoons. And it's nice, it's really, really melted at this point, so it's gonna be excellent to work with. And you just wanna put it right over peanut butter. And it should fill in the spaces around the peanut butter. Okay. And although this is technically a candy, I'd say it's quite a healthy dessert. If you wanted, you could sprinkle a little bit of sea salt on the top if you're not watching your sodium intake. You could even fill these with some melted caramel if you wanted to, but I prefer the peanut butter for those healthy fats. All right, it's getting a little messier because that chocolate is really melted, but that's okay, that makes it fun. You don't have to use you don't have to melt them over the stovetop either. You could melt the chocolate in the microwave if it's convenient. Okay. We'll just keep going until these are filled. If you really get into the habit of making these candies, I think there's some little muffin trays that are silicone and kind of shaped like little peanut butter cups. So I haven't been able to find them yet, but if you find them, they could be a lot more easier to use. The peanut butter cups would just pop right out of there. Look at this, almost done. Look at that. Beautiful. So I'm just going to make sure that all the peanut butter is covered. And don't worry about the mess. The cups will taste just the same. Okay, they're ready to go back in for their final freeze. So once the peanut butter cups have been in the freezer for another 5 minutes or however long they need to set, this is what they'll look like. So we've got these adorable little peanut butter cups, and they come right out. And as you can see, there's a layer of peanut butter in the middle there, and they taste delicious, okay? And your apple nachos, ready to serve. And there you have a couple fall favorites with healthy twists. Again, great for hosting or giving away for a work party or gifts. And I hope you enjoyed watching this episode of Cooking Healthy with Coastline. For more information, you can visit coastlinenb.org.